to the Divine Master for peace and happiness. Hari Om Tat Sat. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Om Stapakaya cha dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stapakaya cha dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Yate Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the Supreme Incarnate, who practiced all religions of the world and established harmony, who advocated the path of love. Let us pray to the Divine Spirit to remove all our ignorance from our heart, to free us from the clutches of Maya. Let us pray to Him to realize our true nature, to achieve freedom, liberation, free from suffering once and for all. Sri Ramakrishna is unique in his teachings. He has said many things suitable to various temperaments. We will have to follow them so that we can achieve our goal in life. We need to know that we are in some way or other suffering. Suffering why? Why should we have to suffer? There is a lesson for us to learn. We are bound to suffer as long as we are under the influence of three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. In every one of us, all these three forces are acting upon, but in every case there is the predominance of one over the other two. Some may have more sattva predominance, others may have more rajas, and so on. Just as we see in the music scale, there are saptaswaras, sarigama padani. Out of those saptaswaras, infinite ragas are prepared. Infinite ragas. Various types of combinations are made and various types of melodies are discovered. Just these 7 notes. In the same way, these 3 gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas, they manipulate all the activities we are doing in this world. The interplay of these three gunas determines the destiny of the person. So this combination of three gunas is called Maya. Somehow we are born with these three forces already occupying our heart. So, if we are to have real peace, we must transcend these three gunas. Transcending them. We should go high above the plane of these three gunas. There are many steps to go to rise above these three gunas. First of all, if a person has to establish himself in sattva, he should have to transcend rajas and tamas. After being established in sattva, one must transcend sattva guna also. Then only you will realize the infinite bliss of your spirit. Rajas, if rajas in the form of energy does not come into your heart, sattva will not follow. And unless you are sattvic, that is to say, unless you are pure in heart, Brahman or God, Paramatman cannot be revealed. Suppose you want to get rid of bad habit, you will have to take step even though it might be difficult to follow. It depends upon how far your bad habit has become strong in you. Accordingly, the step also must be taken effectively. So you must develop the corresponding good habit. That requires tremendous rajas or activity on your heart. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, verily this divine Maya of mine, consisting of the gunas, is difficult to cross over. Mama Maya Duratyaya, Lord says. But those who devote themselves to Him, they would cross over this Maya by the grace of God. So there is a hope. Only we have to be devoted. Because our mind is turned towards the world and worldly pursuits and worldly attachments and achievements, worldly involvements, we are not able to get the grace of God to cross the Maya. As I explained earlier, Maya means the interplay of the three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. So Lord Krishna suggests that, do you want really to get out of the miseries? Then give your mind to me. Look at me. Then you will see my glory, Lord Krishna says. That's what is the meaning when Sri Ramakrishna said, the state of samadhi, total absorption in the divine ecstasy, is certainly inspired by love. In Sri Ramakrishna's life we come across many incidents. There was a kirtan program at a devotee's home, singing devotional songs. Sri Ramakrishna had gone there. He was so much impressed by the fervor of the devotional singing of the devotees, which created tremendous spiritual vibrations, Sri Ramakrishna immediately got into ecstatic mood. In that ecstatic state, he visibly saw Lord Krishna and the gopis of Vrindavan. The love of gopis towards Krishna is exemplary. It's par excellence. The love in its perfect form, in its purest state, is manifested in gopis. So, the gopis could have the presence of Lord Krishna always in their hearts. Sri Ramakrishna visibly saw Sri Krishna with the gopis of Vrindavan, and that made him to get samadhi. So here what is the point that we should understand is that we should love God. It's very difficult. It's very easy to see the things visible and love them. It is rather difficult to love the invisible one. But somehow we must get training. We must develop that love. That is why so many types of spiritual yogas have come into existence. Just to fix the mind on God. Fixing the mind on God is possible only when we cherish proper love, liking, taste towards Paramatma. So we say, read the spiritual texts, understand them. It's all right. It has got its value, but its value is limited. But along with all that reading, one thing that you should not forget, that is, you will have to get your mind fixed. Unless that is done, you can't have the experience of peace. So, Sri Ramakrishna tells, develop a love for God in your heart. Always turn to Him. Be earnest and call on Him sincerely. Then you will find that everything will be fulfilled in time. Surrender to Sri Ramakrishna. Give your mind to Him. Dedicate yourself, heart and soul, and Sri Ramakrishna will take care of everything about you. So what is needed is make your mind ready. Mind is to be made ready. When the flower blooms, the bee comes of itself. There is something like passion which is very common in this world. That is the love turned towards the sensuality. It is that which centers around oneself. And love is that which centers around God. The more close the relation you can have with God, and the more you can love Him, the more joy you will get from His name. God's name and God Himself are not different. Love pays very quickly because God is a lover of His devotees. He is satisfied with love and devotion alone. He needs nothing else. He reveals Himself wherever there are yearning and love. Whoever it is, wherever it is. So, that kind of love can manifest only in a purified heart. If the heart is impure, you can't cherish love towards God. So, purification is necessary. How to get the mind purified? By undergoing spiritual sadhana. Practicing according to your capacity, renunciation and disciplines. Once the heart gets purified on account of the sadhanas, the love of God finds expression and God reveals Himself there. So the thing that matters is to love God, thinking Him to be one's own. So to develop that kind of love towards God, association with men of spirituality is important. It will certainly stimulate love for God in others. That is a unique phenomenon. So we should call upon God with great love. Tvameva mata cha, tvameva pita cha, tvameva bandhusa saka tvameva, tvameva vidya drinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. What a fine composition. Who is that God? He is your own father, mother, husband, friend, everything. So to understand it, to cultivate this attitude, one must constantly come in association with holy people. Holy company generates love of God. Once you find the signs of true love of God in your heart, then that is the sure sign of spiritual progress. So love should occupy prominent place in your constitution. There should be nothing but love, inside, outside, everywhere. With that concept, look at the world, do the things in the world, talk with the people, whatever you do, the background must be always to love. Make the whole world your own through love. Let there be none outside the pale, none your enemy. Let there be no egotism and drive away such foreign ideas as enmity. So let the whole world become one through love. That's the way. In order to practice this, we should stop finding faults in others. Try to see always good in the people and just value them most. It is true, one has to earn money. It is true, one has to go to job. One has to look after the family. No doubt. But we should know money is not everything. It is love and character that can achieve everything. Show it all by your actual life, and then you will see the wonderful results in your life. So with these words I conclude my comments on the last class. Now I shall read some more passages. Chapter 17. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. Sri Ramakrishna was talking to M near the bell tree at Dakshineshwar. This tree under which the master had practiced the most austere sadhana stood at the northern end of the temple garden. Farther north ran a high wall, and just outside was a government magazine. West of the bell tree was a row of tall pines that rustled in the wind. Below the trees flowed the Ganges, and to the south could be seen the sacred grove of Panchavati. The dense trees and underbush hid the temples. No noise of the outside world reached the bell tree. Master said to M, "But one cannot realize God without renouncing lust and gold." Master Maharaj said, "Why? Did not Vasishtha say to Rama, O Rama, You may renounce the world if the world is outside God. Master, smiling, said, he said that to Rama so that Rama might destroy Ravan. Rama accepted the life of a householder and married to fulfill that mission. Yam stood there like a log, stunned and speechless. Sri Ramakrishna went to the Panchavati on his way back to his room. M accompanied him. It was then about 10 o'clock. M asked a question, Sir, is there no spiritual discipline leading to realization of the impersonal God? Master, yes, there is, but the path is extremely difficult. After intense austerities, the rishis of olden times realized God as their innermost consciousness and experienced the real nature of Brahman. But how hard they had to work. They went out of their dwellings in the early morning and all day practiced austerities and meditation. Returning home at nightfall, they took a light supper of fruit and roots. But an aspirant cannot succeed in this form of spiritual discipline if his mind is stained with worldliness even in the slightest degree. The mind must withdraw totally from all objects of form, taste, smell, touch and sound. Only thus does it become pure. The pure mind is the same as a pure Atman. But such a mind must be altogether free from lust and gold. When it becomes pure, one has another experience. One realizes God alone is the doer and I am his instrument. One doesn't feel oneself to be absolutely necessary to others, either in their misery or in their happiness. Once a wicked man bit into unconsciousness, a monk who lived in a monastery. On regaining consciousness, he was asked by his friends, who is feeding you milk? The monk said, he who bet me is now feeding me. Master Maharaj, yes sir, I know that story. Master said, it is not enough to know it. One must assimilate its meaning. It is the thought of worldly objects that prevents the mind from going into samadhi. One becomes established in samadhi when one is completely rid of worldliness. It is possible for me to give up the body in samadhi, but I have a slight desire to enjoy the love of God and the company of his devotees. Therefore, I pay a little attention to my body. There is another kind of samadhi called Unmana Samadhi. One attains it by suddenly gathering this dispersed mind. You understand what that is, don't you? Yes, sir. Master, yes. It is a sudden withdrawal of the dispersed mind to the ideal. But that samadhi does not last long. Worldly thoughts intrude and destroy it. The yogi slips down from his yoga. At Kamarpukur, I have seen the mongoose living in its hole up in the wall. It feels snug there. Sometimes people tie a brick to its tail. Then the pull of the brick makes it come out of its hole. Every time the mongoose tries to be comfortable inside the hole, it has to come out because of the pull of the brick. Such is the effect of brooding on worldly objects that it makes the yogi stray from the path of yoga. Worldly people may now and then experience samadhi. The lotus blooms, no doubt, when the sun is up, but its petals close again when the sun is covered by a cloud. Worldly thought is a cloud. Master Maharaj said, isn't it possible to develop both jnana and bhakti by the practice of spiritual discipline? Master, Through the path of bhakti, a man may attain them both. If it is necessary, God gives him the knowledge of Brahman. But a highly qualified aspirant may develop both jnana and bhakti at the same time. Such is the case with the Ishvara Kotis, Chaitanya, for example. But the case of ordinary devotees is different. There are 5 kinds of light: the light of a lamp, the light of various kinds of fire, the light of the moon, the light of the sun, and lastly the combined light of the sun and the moon. Bhakti is the light of the moon and jnana is the light of the sun. Sometimes it is seen that the sun has hardly set when the moon rises in the sky. In the incarnation of God, one sees at the same time the sun of knowledge and the moon of love. Can everyone, by the mere wish, develop knowledge and love at the same time? It depends upon the person. One bamboo is more hollow than another. Is it possible for all to comprehend the nature of God? Can a one shear pot hold 5 shears of milk? Master Maharaj. But what about the grace of God? Through His grace, a camel can pass through the eye of a needle. Master. But is it possible to obtain God's grace just like that? A beggar may get a penny if he asks for it. But suppose he asks you right off for his train fare. But suppose he asks you right off for his train fare. How about that? Master Maharaj is too silent. The master too remained silent. Suddenly he said, yes, it is true. Through the grace of God, some may get both jnana and bhakti. M saluted the master and went back to the bell tree. We shall stop here. Any questions? You have to transcend the 3 gunas to establish yourself in peace. As long as you are associated with any one of the gunas, to that extent you are bound. So, knowledge is complete only when you realize your true nature. Only when you are able to dissociate yourself from the body and mind and from ego. So, what you called awareness, that is getting at the source from where the I consciousness sprouts. So you are just withdrawing from all these external things and you are just focusing yourself on your own spirit, which is nothing but awareness. Once your concentration is completely established, then you will realize the truth. Thereafter you are in no more bondage. Then your looking the world is different. You look upon the whole world as the very manifestation of God Himself. There is nothing but God everywhere. That concept you will experience. Yeah, any more? Anyway, jnana and bhakti, both are very good. We should cherish both. Not simply bhakti, not simply jnana. I want jnana and bhakti both. Then you will taste, you will enjoy the glory of God. Knowledge without devotion is dry. So, devotion is very good. But there are different stages. We have to go step by step. So, formation of strong impressions in the mind is very important to get the result. If the mind is running after the things of the world, then you can't have peace. That's the way. And with these words I conclude my talk. We have got Durga Puja here on Monday, October 2nd. October 1st I am doing Durga Puja in Ganges. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, streamed down in moonlight and the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame, as many times as I may believe on. Grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. O how I long for the day when instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stealest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be free from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.